After the St. Patrick's Day parade in Greystones, I always try and go for the first nature walk of the year. Temperatures are getting a bit better, and St. Patrick's Day is basically the start of spring. Here you can see some beautiful birds that are down at the seashore. These are oyster catchers. They have a beautiful piping song. Oyster catchers are found along the coast of Wicklow all year long. They're really beautiful birds. The female has a sort of a sharp beak and the male tends to have a duller beak. They feed on slightly different things, but it seems to be gender-based choices. It was quite windy and a dog caused the flock to take to the air, and you can see they're very beautiful in flight. And they came right by us on the walk, two photographers. But I'm starting to make a lot more videos, and here they are again. And out onto the golf course in Greystones. The weather was extremely good. The sea at first was very calm and there was a very little breeze. You can see the water levels are quite decent. There wasn't a lot of rain in the last while. I mean, we had a bit of a storm last week, but it's all sorted itself out since then. It wasn't too cold, but bearing in mind that St. Patrick's Day is the same date as the ancient festival of Bacchus. And that was the fertility festival to mark the start of spring, which was the 17th of March in ancient Rome. Here you can see there was a stormy kind of weather in the distance, and we were very lucky. But you can see over Bray Head, looking northwards, quite a storm. Here's a cormorant out offshore. Cormorants are lovely birds. They dive, they swim underwater basically when they're hunting for fish. You can see the storm is getting a little bit closer. We were wondering were we going to get wet. Occasionally there would be a few spits of rain in the air, but nothing like last year's ferocious storm. We made a very uncomfortable walk. Here you can see lots of cattle just out in the fields very recently. Here are swans in a pond, a very overgrown pond. And the wind was so strong it was hard to hold the camera steady. It was blowing into me, and I was actually leaning on a fence for some of that. Here you can see flooding of the bog, and there you can see the wind is picking up at this stage. And now there's rain out at sea, but there's still a lot of blue sky. Now last year I was nearly washed into the sea when I went to put a mermaid's purse back into the sea, and a wave came up those steps while I was standing on them and got me. And here we are, the beautiful scent of Alexander's, which is the scent of spring in East Wicklow. And here you can see a honeybee feeding on the flowers, and this is a ladybird. Ladybirds like to feed on the pollen of Alexander's until there's insects around for them to eat. And these are, of course, the 7-spot ladybird. And there's a drone fly which resembles a honeybee. And most people think there are loads of bees all over the hedgerows, but in fact it's these drone flies. And you can see they're very similar to the honeybee in the first clip, but quite different too. And then I saw this today, the real start of spring, the tawny mining bee. Very rare, but getting more common in Ireland. And I have never seen a female so early.